Yo, what's going on, guys? Matthew V. Haynes here, aka the Clock Master. I'm here with my sister,
Amanda.
I'm not even going through this.
Also known as Miss Milky Way.
Check our channel in the description box below, guys. I have not uploaded a video in here in quite a few days. One, because there's been a lot of construction in front of my house, and I couldn't record. At the times that I wanted to record, because I do live streams in the night, and now they're done. So we're here recording this Cloak and Dagger. Now, continuation to these reactions as a disclaimer will depend on how much views I get on this video, how much the demand is, and how many people want to see my reactions, because to take the time out to do these reactions literally takes a lot of time to even edit it and put it out. And if no one is watching the videos and it's not really a big demand, then I won't continue doing reaction to it, and then I'll just spend my time doing other shows that I need to catch up on the show for you guys. So make sure if you guys want to see more Cloak and Dagger reactions from us, if we decide to do it, oh yeah, another thing that also depends on too is if these first 2 episodes are actually good. Because I've become a real huge Cloak and Dagger fan from the comic books, and I really love the comic book adaptations of these characters. And if the show is just
the trailer looks fine,
we'll just see. But yeah, if you want to see us do more reactions, just please let us know in the comments. Make sure to subscribe. Let your requests be known, yo. Let us know.
Asking you receive.
Let us know. Don't just watch the video and expect us to do more reactions. Let us know that you want us to actually do more if you really want us to do it. And if I get a good, decent amount of people that want to watch it, then I was like, okay, I think it's worth doing the reactions. All right. Anyways, so Cloak and Dagger, Tandy Bowen, and Tyrone Johnson. She doesn't really know much about them.
What do you mean, Olivia Holt and the other guy?
That's their. I'm talking about the character names.
Oh.
Their character names is Tandy Bowen. Tandy. Yeah, with a T.
Tandy?
Tandy.
What kind of stupidness?
Tandy Bowen and Tyrone Johnson. Okay? Now, their backstories, I know based on the trailers, they kind of switched it up a bit. Mainly because of PC reasons, and they don't want people to get triggered. This is what I believe. They don't want people to get triggered by doing typical black stereotypes of being poor and not having money.
Oh, because we're in 2018?
We're in 2018, and this is freeform. But, but I mean, back then, it was more of I would say it's more of an insult, but back then the original story for Cloak and Dagger, Tyrone Johnson Cloak wasn't really, if you guys don't know, he wasn't really poor. He just lived in a really bad neighborhood, as most black people did in the 80s. Lived in a pretty bad neighborhood in Boston. He's very smart, but he had a stutter, so I don't know if they're actually going to incorporate this in the show somehow, but he had a really horrible stutter, and he was very smart.
When did you read those comic books?
I read all of them.
When?
Bruh.
You don't have them?
Yes, I do on my iPad.
I
bought them on my iPad digitally.
Recently?
The first ones I read since back like in December. And then I continued.
You bought them.
Yeah, bruh. No, I bought the recent stuff recently. They made a new comic book that came out last week that I just bought. But all the other stuff, I've read them, like the first 4 issues of the original. You don't even, it's on my iPad. I bought them on Comixology. Oh. It's digital. Don't try to ting me, bro.
I'm not trying to ting you.
I bought it digitally back in December or before then to actually read it, because I heard they were coming out of show with it. I didn't know too much about the characters back at the time when they announced the show. So I was like, all right, cool, let me just read it. And then I became really like in love with the characters.
When did you know okay.
They announced it like last year this time. That they were making a Cloak and Dagger show.
But you said you didn't know much about the characters.
At the time when they announced it, I didn't know much about them. So that's what prompted me to go read the comics. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I've only been reading them for. Oh crap! Oh, so in the comics, Tyrone Johnson is poor. Well, not poor. Kind of lived in a bad neighborhood. Whatever. Didn't really have a lot of money or anything, but he wasn't really poor. And Tandy was rich, but her parents neglected her. Her stepmom, her dad went away to go seek spiritual guidance or something. She's one of those people
where they got money, but then she's being like, she needs attention. But
she needs attention, but
like she has everything.
And she got a stepdad. The stepdad wants to show love to her, but she rejecting the stepdad. Blah blah blah. Characters. Yeah, so that was how it was in the comics when they were teenagers, and basically what made them special was because they were runaways. And I don't know if you ever heard of the series Runaways, but they were the original runaways. And Tyrone ran away because he was walking down the street with his best friend, and somebody robbed a store, and the police thought it was his best friend, and his best friend started running, and they shot him. His best friend started running.
In the comic books?
Yeah. and they
The
shot.
recent ones?
No, the original ones in the 80s, 83,
Shot
1983. Shot
the
Tyrone's
guy?
friend, Cloak's friend.
Because he assumed.
Because he was running away from the crime scene, and he assumed he was the one that shot the thief, even though he didn't do it. I know. So anyway, so Tyrone blames his best friend's death because he was stuttering. He couldn't tell the cop that it wasn't him, because he was trying to tell him.
He blames it on himself.
He blames he thinks that his friend got shot because he wasn't able to stop the cop in time. Because that's just how they wrote it, right? And he was like he was like so he was stuttering, he couldn't say it. So he ran away thinking that they were going to come looking after him as if he was a suspect or whatever. So he ran away. She ran away because the mom wasn't giving her any attention. She wanted to be loved and blah 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 blah. And nobody cares about her. She used to do ballet.
Cliche.
Yeah. She used to do ballet, and she's really good at gymnastics and all that. They both ran away, and then they kind of both met up. And how
so they're called runaway?
They were called runaways. Yeah, because they ran away.
There's a whole group of other runaways?
Plenty more that have powers and stuff that were experimented on. That's what I'm getting to.
Static Shock was a runaway?
No, whoa! Static Shock is the wrong universe. He's in DC.
I don't know!
Static Shock is in DC. Okay, well, Static Shock's in DC. This is Marvel.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. This is Marvel. Y'all could skip, by the way, if y'all could skip all this introduction if you just want to see the reaction. I should have probably said at the beginning. But I'm just saying this for those of my viewers who do not know anything about him. But
yeah,
you guys,
I don't know anything about
you guys can skip to the reaction if you want to.
I was like,
okay?
oh, you got a black guy? Oh, you got a white girl? Okay, let me watch.
Yeah, people were actually complaining, thinking that they were doing the interracial kind of thing because it's 2018. I'm like, no, it's been like that for a long time. It's been like that since the 80s. But anyway, long story long. They both arrived to Manhattan. Tyrone was about to steal a purse from Tandy because he didn't have any money and he never stole anything before, but he really needed money. And right before he was about to steal it, somebody else stole the purse, and he saved her and brought the purse back. And these two shady, and then she bought him dinner. They both had dinner, and then this shady group of people was like, hey. Because mainly Cloak and Dagger used to they used to deal with a lot of drug and like human trafficking stuff. So they used to defeat or go after people who used to be in the drug industry and in the human traffic industry and stuff like that. They used to go and liberate people. That's mainly what they used to do, until they kind of switched their stories. And then they got with these two people, Tandy being that suburban rich girl who doesn't know about danger. They were like, hey, we'll give you a place to sleep and stuff tonight and blah, blah, blah. And then Tyrone was like, nah. He was willing to go along to see where they were going because he could take care of himself. But he didn't want her to be involved because he already know the type she is. So she just jumped ahead and said, yeah, we'll go with you.
Oh, my God.
So she goes, and then Tyrone had to follow her. And I was like, oh, God, she don't know what was going to happen now. Now I guess I got to go because these guys are shady. And he already knew they were shady from the jump. And then they knocked him out. And they both got knocked out and they got taken to Ellis Island, where they were experimented on. Yeah, where they were experimented on with this experimental drug by a doctor named Simon Marshall, which I hope we see him in the show at some point. That explains how they got their powers. And it was this new drug that they were some mafia was trying to use to be like a substitute for heroin. And they were testing it on these kids. And everybody died except for Tyrone and Tandy.
Oh,
so
the irony.
No.
What do you mean they didn't die?
They didn't die because the drug killed them, but they didn't die and people believe because they had a gene.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So they already had something in them.
Yeah, the drug kind of triggered their powers. That's what the theory people come up with now.
Because if everybody else died, what makes just these two still alive?
Yeah, exactly. Like, so they ran away, and they jumped off it, and they were able to escape, and basically explain their powers. Tandy, Dagger. She can emit like this light force energy. And she's literally a living embodiment of light. And she can throw like these light daggers out of her fingers. And it can either go through people and like make them paralyzed, or she can make them harden and it can be like actual daggers. And Cloak, who's my favorite, I'm not really a huge fan of Dagger. I'm more of a Cloak fan because of what he can do. He's very mysterious. He literally turned into a living embodiment of darkness and shadows. So like his body's literally just a shadow, a tangible shadow, and how he got the cloak is that they were walking an alleyway and he saw his body was all like dark and shadowy, and he was like, crap. So he grabbed a random cloak from the side of the thing, put it on him to cover his body. But what he can do is, if he raises
So
his
his
cloak,
body turns dark?
his body turns into a shadow, like an actual dark
And it
shadow.
stays like that forever?
Well, no, he can actually make it be a human form again if he has the willpower or enough energy or light.
So
to
he
do
can
it.
make himself hide with the darkness. Like
Yeah, I'm gonna explain a little bit more. So his powers are cooler because he can actually suck people into the dark dimension through his cloak. If he opens, the dark dimension, he can suck people in, and they go into this weird, random eternity place where they just experience horrific visions of themselves for the rest of their lives. Now, the only time they can go in without getting harmed is if they go in with Dagger, because Dagger can give them the light, to like not get affected by the darkness and the cold.
So she goes inside of him?
Sorta, but they can teleport. He can teleport. So because he's able to go into a dimension outside of Earth, he can he can teleport. He can go from here and teleport to somewhere else. And he can bring other people with him and go, as long as they're with Dagger. Okay, so he's a skilled combative. He can bring people into the dark dimension. He can teleport. And because he can literally just suck people into him, makes him dangerous. Because he can walk around and people can shoot at him and he won't get shot. It just goes straight through.
Because he's a shadow?
He's literally a shadow. And he can't get shot. It can't work. It doesn't work like that. And if
so the medicine that got him what they had on Ellis Island gave him those abilities, or they already had that?
Well, before they didn't have it, but the medicine kind of triggered whatever abilities.
So it enhanced their abilities.
It just triggered whatever gene. People were thinking that they're mutants, but Marvel kind of retconned that story because they don't have rights to mutants anymore. But that's the long story short. So together they have this weird connection because Cloak can't eat actual food, and I hope they incorporate this in the show.
What?
He can't eat food.
He's a shadow?
He doesn't eat food. Right?
So how does he stay alive?
By taking
consuming people?
By taking the people in.
Ah, you're
because no, he doesn't actually physically eat them. It's the dark dimension is hungry. He's literally a living body of darkness.
So he needs just to get bad people.
He needs to get the way how the story explained is that every human being has a little bit of light in them. A light force of energy that only Dagger can actually like manipulate, right? Mm-hmm. And by consuming those people, he sucks the light out of them.
Whatever light they have.
And that's how his hunger is sustained, right? I don't know if they're gonna continue to do it or they may completely scratch it in this show.
They're gonna have him eating fries and burgers.
Yeah, I bet you they're gonna do that just because to make it less confusing for people. But Dagger, how they would normally accommodate for is that Dagger would actually give him some of her light so he can be sustained and not have to go out and like try to like she can emit light from her body, so she would normally just give him the light that she has from her body
so he can turn to darkness.
No, so that his hunger can be satisfied, because the hungrier he is dangerous, the more dangerous he is, the more people he'll actually consume, and that's why he would go out and target like criminals and stuff, because no one cares about him, right? So it's like it's more darker in the comics, all right? But they are literally
basically he's a walking dark dimension.
Yes, that's pretty much what he is. And it's cool because he can teleport and he can do so many other cool stuff.
Fight.
Yes, he can. He can fight too.
She can't fight either.
She can fight too. She was
I think all these superheroes. Well, that's their number one thing. Just fight.
What makes her special is that she's a gymnast. She's a skilled gymnast. She has a lot of agility. She has a lot of flexibility and things like that. So she's pretty good with like maneuvering her body and things like that. So that's what makes her special. She's very fast and she's thinking.
I don't know if this show better be good.
But they switched the roles around. And it took me a long time to get to that, but they switched the roles around.
So they made her poor
and made him rich.
Because it's 2018.
2018 Freeform.
I didn't know they're gonna get
they're gonna get a lot of backlash. Yeah.
And then you got some people like.
I'm tired of them always making black people poor, and you know what I mean. But that's pretty much all you need to know about Cloak and Dagger. I'm not going to get into the specifics of the stories. I just pretty much so you know what their powers do. And for those who are watching, if you're still watching, God bless you. You probably are, because if they're still watching to this point and they didn't skip to the reaction by now.
20 minutes.
No, this is going to be a long video. At this point, I don't even care. But yeah. What else I have to say?
Riverdale High.
Wow. Anyway, they just released a new comic book, which I read. and they said that they made the comic book to kind of like introduce the new people who watch this show into like the world of Cloak and Dagger. So it's gonna be kind of cool to see them. Anyways, enough talking, man. That's a way longer introduction than I wanted. But it's episode 1, and I just wanted to say that I'm a huge fan of these characters, and I really hope they do them justice. I don't care if they change around the stories a lot, a little bit, but
that's not true.
No. If they change around a little bit of things, like
he was ranting.
I was ranting until I read some other stuff that was similar to the comics.
Y'all, he was ranting. I was ranting.
Yeah. Okay. If they change around a few little things, that's fine. But as long as the core elements of these characters are the same, I'll be happy. That's all I care about. Anyways, all
I know that it looked good. Oh shit!
Tandy ain't come to play.
You okay?
Oh, she was working to get the door.
Oh, no! Come on, no!
Like, how
you don't see that? Come on now, right now.
And then they gonna call him because he did that.
Yeah.
I hate stuff like that.
Wait, isn't that the jacket that... No.
He had?
No. Come on now, right now. That made no sense.
Is she gonna...
Wallet.
She ransacked his wallet.
Hey, blonde girl.
She wiping off everybody and taking their jacket. I mean, their wallet. He's a hit, blonde girl.
I would have snuck up behind her.
Yeah.
You would have known she would have ran away.
You don't call somebody out. You never do that. You
say,
always
hey.
like...
You sneak up. You see a Charlie can't run.
Right?
Like, talk!
I gotta go.
No, stop running. Who are you?
That's a good reaction to that.
Dang, where'd she go? She blinded him? We need to see more of him, like...
Yeah.
Is he white girl?
Her reaction to that is very natural. I mean, like...
Is she right there?
You know, some people are like, "Oh, what is this?"
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
So cool.
cool. She's like, "Damn!" I would have been like that too. I'm like, people like,
oh my god! What?
oh crap! Oh.
What in the world?
Remember the teleportation thing? Is he gonna use? Are they gonna use his bed sheet as the cloak? That'll be very interesting.
No, where the heck am I?
Wait, this is when his bed sheets fall full.
Roxanne Corpse.
Oh, rocks on. Ooh.
Good.
Yo!
Oh my god!
Yo, thank you for stopping.
You have money in there?
No. Excuse me, miss. I think you dropped something.
Oh my god.
Oh,
shoot, girl! No! Oh, wow.
Why would you go into an alley?
He gonna try to go protecting her. She girl. Good. 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 Like, use your foot, like, you know.
Yeah, the cold.
What?
Oh, I'm glad they did it.
The cold?
Yeah, the dark dimension makes you cold.
Makes you cold?
Yeah, because it's so cold. See, he can make people see their deepest, darkest fears.
And it makes you cold, okay.
Yeah, and she can make people see their light, or she can see the light in people. That's why she saw the happy stuff. Okay, so they changed around a lot of stuff, which I, knew they're going to do, but not in a way that I hate it. They changed around some things in a way that kind of fits the narrative and not necessarily like going all over the place with certain things. So they did give them their original origin, but switched it up a little bit. So he did, well, not poor, but he started out in a little ghetto area and, whatever. And Tandy started out with a rich father who's not really around her, except that, it was a mother in the comics, but whatever. Specifics don't matter. Anyways. Because I like the direction they went with it. I don't hate it too much.
From what you told me from the beginning about their origin story, I felt like with them doing it this way, it's more simpler and you can understand it more instead of trying to explain a whole origin of like a comic book series.
Yeah, I mean,
like where how they started.
Yeah, they don't take everything from the comic books. If they do, in a way, it would be too boring. My thing is, like I said, this is how I approach everything. I don't mind them changing around little details as far as like how certain things happen, but as long as the characters, elements that make that character stay, I'm fine with it. Like, as long as Cloak is this awkward, weird guy,
see, I don't mind
smart, but he's just weird. As long as they captured that, I was happy about that. 2, they captured some elements of his powers, like the teleportation and making people see the dark visions and cold and stuff. I'm happy that they kept what makes him that. And I like how they threw the whole blanket over him as kind of as to reference his original appearance when he first came in. I'm glad they kind of, did that to reference that to at least to make some of the comic book fans happy. Like, hey, they actually gave him the cloak, but it looks silly, so we're not going to use it because it just looks really cumbersome and silly. A man walking around with a big cloak. But as far as Tandy, I really like her more than I did in the comics. In the comics, I never really liked her too much. I liked Cloak more, but this I like Tandy a lot more. And I feel like we're seeing way more of her. Like I in this first episode, I've already connected to her more than I connected to Tyrone.
I don't mind him being his awkward self, because I guess that's how he's supposed to be. But for some reason, maybe it's because we're not seeing him more, but I'm just not feeling him at all. Like I said, I'm feeling her more because it started out with her and showing her whole life story, then showing more of her. But they're barely showing any of him. Like, hopefully in the second episode they show more of him, but like they could have made it even up the playing field. And like I guess that's probably the main reason why I'm not feeling his whole character. Because right now I'm just like, okay. And I know we're supposed to be kind of confused. Me not reading comic books and reading that comic series, I'm like so confused. And I know because it's the first episode and we're going to get used to like all their powers or whatever they got. But, like, I'm just so confused, especially on his part, because I'm like, I don't know anything about him. And you told me his stuff, and I know nothing about him.
And it's hard to take it like that because they changed a lot of it up. They changed a lot of
I just felt they could have showed him
even more. I don't know.
They could have showed him more like they showed her so we can get a feel of him.
The issue with everything.
Like, oh my
The issue with that. That's the issue with that film in particular. I mean, did we say it's only the first episode and it's the pilot episode, and I'm gonna say most of my thoughts on how I feel about the series when we're about to just do episode 2, just get out the way real quick, because if we push it off, it's not gonna happen. So we're just gonna do it right now, get it out the way. But I'll just say more of my thoughts on that after. But as far as the first pilot, the pilot was off to a very shaky start, I would say. I feel like the pilot is trying to set its foot in the ground, and it's like trying to figure out where it wants to go. Because, okay, well, we need to, kind of let's introduce these characters, but let's just give
And
them
it's like
something
they're like, oh, let's test this out.
Yeah, let's
try
test this out, yeah.
But it's like,
and
if
whichever
they
works
didn't have
better, we'll just continue that.
When they first aired this episode, they showed a second one right after it. Right?
Yeah,
after
it's a 2-hour premiere.
If they didn't do that, I don't think anybody would have continued to keep watching the show. Because when we watched the first episode of the 100, it grabbed your attention right away.
At the end?
When I watched the first episode...
Jasper? Exactly. That was the end, right?
Yeah. When I watched the first episode of Riverdale and any other show, it has to grab your attention, make some sense of it. You're not going to get everything right away. But for this one, like we were saying, like, oh, let's test this one. Let's try this one. Let's do this. Let's do this random flashback. Oh, she randomly has her dagger in her hand now. Like, oh, like, it's just like...
Because I know about their powers, I'm not confused as to how it works.
No, but not. It's just.
But no, I'm just saying. But for
for
people who don't know, they're gonna be like,
"How in the world? Like,
what's happening?" This don't make no sense. Come on, all right. This don't make no sense.
It's like they're throwing out so much stuff, but with no explanation. And it is the first episode, and they're lucky that they threw another episode right after that because I would not watch this show. But then knowing me, I like to watch things thoroughly just to see where it's going.
No. If it's by the mid-season and nothing happens, I drop a show. I honestly do. Like if I'm by like episode, if it's a 13 episode series, I hope this series is 13 episodes. I hope it's not no 23 episode nonsense. I hope it's like 13 and 15 episodes. Let me actually see how much episodes it is. I want to know. I need to know.
All I know is that we better see more of Cloak because
yeah, we need to see more of that. Let me see. Hold up. Cloak.
We fighting like
and Dagger episodes. Everybody's saying it's so good and stuff like that, but I don't like to take other people's word for it. I like to see it myself.
Oh my god, it's so beautiful.
It's so good, like no.
Other than that, just like how they recorded it and it looks good, like it looks like a movie.
Yeah, I mean the quality looks good. Okay, good. 10 episodes. I'm happy with that. Yeah, when we team up on You Don't Complain, bro. We gonna drop. I'm glad they actually brought Jack Ryan to Prime. That's gonna be very interesting. No, Jack Ryan is a Tom Clancy video game thing. So, yeah, it's 10 episodes. Okay, so season 1 is 10 episodes. That I'm happy about. Cause if they did some stupid Flash Riverdale nonsense where CW orders like 23 episodes, and then by the time like episode 15 is Matt, you see the reason with 10 episodes you're not gonna have any fillers.
Yeah, it's just
we're not gonna have any fillers. I already know we're not gonna have any fillers. Same thing with like 100. It's like 15 episodes. All right, at least first season.
Right now I'm like, what did I just watch? Did I even watch something?
I'm excited to see how they tackle the story. I'm fine with them changing around a few things here and there. I'm okay with that.
I'm just
making it modern. Let's watch the second episode and see where it goes. But I got the things. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. We're gonna go watch the second episode, which will be up now. So by the time you're watching this, it'll be up. So go check it out. Watch your reaction to that and all that. Make sure to subscribe. And like I said in the beginning, please leave your comments down below to let us know if you want us to do reactions to this show. Because if no one is going to watch these reactions, I'm not going to spend my time editing these because it takes a lot of time.
Are y'all going to edit the video?
Are y'all going to edit it? No. But I would be more happier to edit these videos knowing that I'm going to give it to people who really want to see it. So let us know. Please, just let us know. But anyway, because either way, I'm going to watch the show. If I don't film reactions and you guys don't want us to do reactions, I'll just watch it on my own. That's fine. But let us know. I'll see you guys in the next video. Clockmaster and
Milky Way.
Out.